Don't make me come down there, I'll thump your skull for you.
It doesn't matter. All the titles I took from the champion. So what you saying?
Okay.
Every title I took, Sean Porter, he was champion.
He was a one-time, one-weight champion.
It don't matter. I'm taking it. I'm taking it.
Well, you got the opportunity.
Like I said, you line them up, I'm gonna knock them down every time. It don't matter what happens, personal life, whatever. Hey man, give me him. You sure you want him? Yeah, that's easy work. Get him out of there.
This ain't no easy work.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. Man, the big fight with the big fish and Bud Crawford is on the horizon. And I think it's like a public service announcement. I think a lot of people really miss what Errol was saying. And I think a lot of the conversation need to be directed to the actions of the fighter more so than the words, even though the words have been critical. But if you look at Errol Spence's activity and what he said when he got in that ring and said, look, I'm coming for your strap. You know what I'm saying? Before that, he said, I'm going to clean up my side of the street. I'm going to get what's over here and get all my belts over here. And I'm going to come over there and take yours. And when it came down and the rubber started to meet the road and them guys was in negotiations, Bud was like, hey man, I'm about to go get this bread over here. I'm about to go get me some Polynesian sauce, you know, and Earl was like, nope. He said, I'm gonna put my feet down in the sand. I ain't gonna kick up no dust. I'm just gonna dig in and I'm gonna aim for what I want. He did not move. He did not flinch. He did not waver. He said no Keith Thurman. You know, even when it was talks or rumblings about him going to 154, he said, no, sir, 147, you would not knock me off my pivot. You had Bud going around. You know, he was doing basketball, paintballing with Sean Porter. He was just, you know, wilding out with Bill Bellamy. You know, just clowning. You know, Bomac and them was just talking so much smack. I was like, oh man, Bomac. I was asking the question, Bomac, man, don't you want to match wits with the great Derrick James? You know, I was like, man, don't you want to match with, because that's the real chess match. You know what I'm saying? The ability to make adjustments. You know, things like that. I was bringing that into the conversation early on. And Bud was just running around like, nanny boo boo. The second accident with Earl and speculation about that and the fight getting, you know, the negotiations or whatever getting pushed back because of that, you know, and this and this and that. Everybody was making a whole lot of excuses, man, and it got quiet for a little while because I think it was dawning on a lot of fans that Bud wasn't doing #1 pound for pound behavior for a long time. And you got to think, man, it was one point in time where he said, man, look, if that fight don't happen, it won't hurt my legacy. He said, but will it hurt the legacy of the 147 division? Maybe. You know, I used to do videos about that all the time. I'm like, man, did that sound like somebody want to fight now? Now all his fans are standing up, all puffing their chests out and beating on their chest, standing up on top of mountains, acting like, see, I told you. It's like, no, I think the pressure had mounted where fans were actually putting a lot of pressure on Bud. And I think it really got down to the point where he was like, look, man, I'm tired of this. You know what I'm saying? Because they tried to make it seem like it was all business. It was like, man, when stuff started coming out, and I never look at another man's numbers in regards to his purse and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, in general dialogue, if it comes up, okay, cool. But it went from a while back when they were saying Earl living check to check to Bud going to go get you know, his bread, and if everybody was saying, man, is Bud avoiding the biggest payday possible by not fighting Errol Spence? And Errol Spence was just rooted and grounded, you know, standing on his square and saying, nah, man, I'm about to see about this dude. I don't want any other fight. I don't have a plan B. He said I had a plan A. Everybody would say, oh man, Errol was a fool, man. He's always supposed to have. And everybody would say, oh man, the bag. You know what I'm saying? But meanwhile, we have somebody like Tank getting to the bag. He still getting no pound for pound credit, even though he getting to the bag to the point to where people are saying that he's the face of boxing. It can be argued that he is. Yes, he has a very strong argument that he is. Jermell Charlo has a very, very strong argument that he is. So we got Cash Cow, we got Legacy, but both of them are talented. This one, Cash Cow, Legacy, all wrapped up in one. You know what I'm saying? Just like with Inouye and Fulton, like we always talk about, the same avenue, the same elite fighters going for legacy, getting to the bag. And I think now a lot of people were making excuses, saying, oh man, you can't knock a man for going to go try to feed his family. You can't knock a man for trying to feed his family. I'm like, man, why are y'all caping and capping for a dude, man? Y'all ain't getting none of that money, man. Everybody know Bud is nice with the ones and the twos. You know what I'm saying? I call him the closer, and my box is the watch collection. And now, when the Bud fans had disappeared for a little while, when it was looking obvious that what other fight was there for it? Because if you really wanted Jermell Charlo, you could have just went ahead and petitioned, just like you did when you moved up from 40 to 47 and got Horn. Could have did the same thing with Charlo. Got right in line, got right in the way. Could have foiled a lot of plans, because that would have been a big money. Could have did that. Didn't do that. Flexed a lot of muscle like they were going to do that. Earl was just sitting back, still digging in. You know what I'm saying? So it brings me to this, man. When you actually listen to Earl, what he said, man, he said, basically, I'm taking it. I'm coming to take your strap, bro. He was like, I'm not playing with you. He's like, yeah, I respect you. Like, I'm giving you a respect now, but I'm coming to take your strap. The level of competition is going to show. The level, I always bring up that year when the Ravens was on fire, and their time to win was that time when they was on fire. It was going to the playoffs. They had the number one running offense. Lamar Jackson was doing his thing. The backfield was just doing wonderful. I think they had Ingram. Man, they was just running all over the place. And they ran up against a buzzsaw in the Tennessee Titans. Why? Just another example. When the Eagles won, and I'm an Eagles fan. I'm a diehard. When the Eagles won that championship, I'm not a stranger. I always say this all the time, so forgive me if you heard me say this before. I am not a stranger. I'm not going to sit around and act like we had the toughest strength of schedule. We didn't have the toughest, we had one of the weakest strength of schedules, but we got in the playoffs. Our quarterback was hurt, and our backup came in, and we were arguably able to beat one of the best quarterbacks of all time, who everybody anoint as such, in Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? He got to be up there. He's in the history books. Lord of the Rings. You know, and we won. But it seemed like Bud fans, man, you know, just like a lot of other fighters, just like, I'm not going to name all the names because I don't want to get people triggered, you know, like I'm known to do by telling the truth. Just like Errol Spence, by admitting that Bud didn't fight the best competition, man. And that's something that's going to be haunting. But the thing is, he still has a shot. He's a bad man. I call him the closer. I just believe that when you listen to Earl and the words that he speaks, the words that are coming out of his mouth, he said, I'm taking it. And guess what? He said, in no uncertain terms, he basically said, he's going to take your favorite fighter, who you have down as number one, pound for pound. He called him easy work. He's staring down the barrel of a double barrel shotgun, and he's not flinching at all. He's dead set, and I think that discounting this man, you know, going into this fight, and I guess over embellishing about the other fighter, you know, not having as much parity as what's really going on in this fight. And really, when you take in consideration the level of competition, and you be honest, because Right now, I'm just doing a video, man, touching bases and just getting back in the lab and putting the information that's been burning in my spirit about this fight right now. But I've been crunching some numbers. I've been looking at some more CompuBox. I've been doing some digging. I've been doing some research, man. And it behooves you, if you don't do your homework, if you don't go back and look at those numbers, if you don't go back and look at the fighting styles, if you don't go back and look at the wars that Errol Spence has been in on this path, and he's always at some point just broke somebody, and that's his whole thing right now. I'm going to break Terence Bud Crawford. And you got all the fans saying, oh man, this, you know, and a lot of times it don't be back with any facts, any real data. It just really be a lot of emotionalism. You know, I think I'm hearing a lot of people talk about the athleticism deficit, and it's really not an athleticism deficit. It's like, I don't know what your eyeballs are watching, what you know what I mean? We're not having a dunk contest. This is about the ones and twos. So I just want to put this out here, man, where Errol Spence is basically saying, I'm taking it. He's being very deliberate. He's being very staunch. He stood on his square. He didn't run. He didn't go anywhere. He didn't go get no other bag. He didn't jeopardize anything. He didn't get on no motorcycles. He didn't get on no... He just didn't do a lot of things that he could have been doing. Playing paintball, playing celebrity basketball. He didn't do none of that. He had the little accident, and they say that man been training. Him and Derrick James been getting to work. So, I just want to, before I start putting out those statistical information and do another according to my old head with my old head K, I just wanted to put it out there, man, that Errol Spence Jr. say he taking it. What you got to say about that? What you got to say about that? In these numbers, in these level of competition, and the fact that Errol's actions, everything he said he was going to do, barring any unforeseen circumstances, like I don't think he knew his retina was going to be in jeopardy. And I would believe that he never considered that he would, you know, almost lose his life in a car accident. However, he said personal life, it don't matter. Yeah, give me him. Yeah, you want him? Yeah, give me him. Easy work. That's all I got for right now, man. I'm just getting excited about it, man. Just wanted to whet the appetites, man, because it may seem like some of my favorite fighters I don't really rock with like that. It's just I'm really not an echo chamber, man. You know what I'm saying? I like to like look at everything, sit back, analyze everything, take my time, you know, and really speak facts, you know, have responsible dialogue, give each man their credit, in which I really do. But it's a new saying, because a lot of people, I've been learning that, like, especially in this community, you know what I'm saying, boxing credit is a little tricky. It's almost like me going to go get a house against somebody else trying to go get a house. You know, those credit, you know what I'm saying, and boxing credit is just like that among some of these fans. With boxing credit can be given and then taken away and all of that. But I say, man, what's boxing credit when you done built boxing equity? Eureka. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? Think on that. Anyways, thanks for all my new subscribers. Thanks for the growth on the channel. Thanks for everybody who take time to comment on the videos or give any feedback. You know what I'm saying? It's not just yes men over here. You know, I don't really care if you disagree. Just come with some facts, some logic, some oomph behind what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Just don't be talking out your backside when you come holler at your boy Bodywork. Anyways, thanks for tuning in here at Bodywork Boxing, where we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.